How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Donald Trump canceling the June 12th summit in Singapore with North Korean leader Kim Jong Un. These talks had in part been set up by South Korean President Moon Jae-in. There was a whole big peace summit already with Kim Jong Un and Moon Jae-in. When they met at the DMZ, Moon Jae-in stepped from South Korea into North Korea right over the DMZ, and Kim Jong Un did the same thing, obviously in reverse. He stepped from North Korea into South Korea over the DMZ. Big time photo op. It signaled peace in the peninsula, or at least the beginnings of what could be peace in the peninsula, and also that region. That region is very sensitive. You have Japan right there, China's right there, and Russia are right there, if not on the border of the Korean Peninsula, right across the sea, talking about Japan. Now, Trump was going to have the meeting as the first face-to-face meeting with a North Korean leader, I think, ever, or at least in a very long time. And the point was to further the goal of peace. Unfortunately, somebody from the North Korean regime, administration, government, or whatever said some very negative things about Vice President Mike Pence, called him a political dummy, said his comments about North Korea were stupid, and the comments in question were said during a Fox News interview. Mike Pence said that North Korea better not try to play Trump on the whole talks situation. Like many people have said, they said maybe North Korea, they're not really being serious. They're trying to con you. They're trying to just manipulate you. They're trying to get money or whatever the case may be. He also said something about they may wind up like Libya if they don't play ball with the whole nuclear situation. They did not take too kindly to that, because the interview apparently came just days after the North Korean government had disavowed any ties or any comparisons to Libya. So that was a bad move, apparently, on Mike Pence's part from the eyes of the North Korean regime. That's when all the tough talk came out. So Trump's hearing this and is like, okay, look, we don't like your tone. We don't like all your rhetoric as it relates to the nuclear talk and the negative tone against Mike Pence. So we're going to just pull out of the whole situation. There's a letter that Donald Trump wrote, which is in the description box below. The letter was generally friendly. He thanked them for what they did, as in releasing the 3 prisoners from North Korea, giving them back to America. I don't think there was anything in there about the nuclear facilities being destroyed, but obviously that's also a big thing that Trump was able to accomplish in conjunction with maybe even Xi Jinping from China, but definitely Kim Jong Un and also Moon Jae-in. So the letter was generally positive, but it also had a threat in there. It was like, hopefully, God forbid, we have to use these nuclear weapons on you. Basically, I'm paraphrasing it, but again, you can read that letter in the description box below in full if you want to check it out. Now, let's jump to the reactions. What are the reactions going to be? You already know. You already know that the left, especially people that are on late night talk shows, this is going to be a field day for them, because I don't even really watch late night talk shows, partly because they've become too stale in their content and they're very predictable. I already know that before this whole thing happened with the talks being canceled, that they were saying that it won't work. He's playing you. You're dumb. You're an idiot. Now they're going to say, ha ha, I told you so. Look at what happened. You had your hopes up that you were going to have this talk with Kim Jong Un, and it didn't work. It didn't happen. You're a failure. You're not living up to your campaign promises, all this, that, and the third. But as I stated earlier, there were already some things done with the help of Moon Jae-in, Kim Jong Un, etc., as it relates to North Korea. The nuclear facilities being destroyed, that's going to happen, or it may have already happened. Then you have the release of the 3 American prisoners from North Korea. And before that, you had Otto Warmbier, who unfortunately passed away. But you have had progress in the Korean Peninsula, and also in relations to North Korea and the U.S. I heard that Kim Jong Un was also not really feeling the military exercises in the South, because he wants the American influence to not really be there. Maybe he wants reunification with South Korea. I don't really know. I can't tell. but that may have also been a stumbling block. This whole thing is not going to be perfect, and I don't think anybody looking at it from the outside would think that the talks will be perfect or the whole process to get to a point of peace will be perfect. But at the end of the day, at least Trump is trying. At least he's making an effort. At least he's making some inroads to the actual end game, which should be, in my humble opinion, to have peace in the Korean Peninsula and also to eliminate the threat that North Korea poses to the U.S. and also to its neighbors and to our allies, talking about Japan specifically. As I close, I want to say this. This is not the end. In the letter, there was a lot of room there to come back to the table. This is really part of the art of the deal. Sometimes in the deal, you got to walk away. You say, okay, this deal is not shaping up the way I wanted it, so I'm going to walk away right now, but I'll come back to the table if you're interested in making this deal happen. And I think that North Korea is most certainly interested in making the deal happen. They don't have too much of a choice, honestly, because of the sanctions, the economic condition of their country. People are starving on the street. You may see some footage from a lot of these biased news organizations, CNN, NBC, ABC, or whatever, that show vibrant and happy people. Remember during the Olympics and they had North Korea there? It was this whole big mess, this whole big show that was really just fake. It wasn't real. The reality is people are suffering in North Korea, and I think that Kim Jong Un understands that. He's a pretty young guy. He may even be younger than I am. I'm 33. He may be like barely even 30. I'm not quite sure of his age. If you know, let me know in the comments. Either way it goes, he's a pretty young guy. He did not grow up in North Korea for the most part. He attended some kind of preparatory or boarding school in Switzerland for the majority of his youth to get him prepared to be in this role, but maybe he's not all the way prepared, or maybe he is and wants the best thing for his people. So this is not the end. It's just like everything else. It's going to take time. Rome was not built in a day. To anybody out there hating, talking about, oh, Trump failed again, all this, that, and the third, it's not over. And do not discount what he's already been able to accomplish in North Korea, releasing the prisoners, having a nuclear abilities diminished. Don't just gloss over that like it didn't happen. These are real things that are going on right now. So I predict in the near future, he'll still be able to have the summit. But as of right now, there's no sense in rushing. There's no point in just trying to immediately fast forward to the end of the process. Let the process play out. And then after it plays out, let's see what the results actually are. So what do you think? Do you think that there will be a summit in Singapore or somewhere else between Trump and Kim Jong Un? Do you think that Mike Pence kind of like sabotaged the whole situation? I don't think that he did. I think he was just standing up for the president and making sure that everything was on the up and up. But maybe he could have handled it a little bit better. I don't really know. Either way it goes, do you think that the talks are going to continue? Do you think that it's over? That Trump had a chance and he blew it? Do you think he is a failure? Do you think he's a bad president? If that's your assertion, please explain to me why in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. It's funny how people say that this is going to hurt Trump's approval rating and stuff like that. Look, people that don't like Trump for the most part are not going to be swayed one way or the other, and vice versa. If you like Trump, it's going to be hard for you to be swayed in the other direction. And if you hate him, you pretty much going to hate him. I think you have a better chance of swaying someone who hates Trump into liking him than you have the other way around. If you're easily swayed from liking Trump to disliking him, how much did you really support the guy to begin with? Did you vote for him? My thing is this, as I close for real this time, if you are an American citizen, you should want the best for Trump and an administration, because if he succeeds and his staff succeeds, that means we succeed as a nation. When you're wishing on his downfall and hoping that he collapses, all you're doing is really just cutting your own nose to spite your face, because at the end of the day, you're an American citizen. He's a president of the USA. It doesn't really matter who's in there. You can have Barack Obama. You can have Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. I don't care who's in there. Whoever is there, I want to succeed. Whether I agree with them or not is a whole different story, a whole different situation. But I would never say I hope they fail, because if they fail, I fail. And I'm not that kind of person that wants to hurt my own self. I'm more interested in having a nice, calm, happy, peaceful, productive, fulfilled life than I am just hating on someone so much that it ruins my own life. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.